morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady. So today I decided to do a little bit of a kit review. As you all know, or most of you do, I picked up 3 kits from the latest Aldi yarn event in the UK. Now, I wasn't very keen on one of them, but pop back to that previous video to find out. I'm going to leave it there. But I was super excited to have a go at the Fiesta crochet collection. Now, as you can see here, I have completed one of the patterns. Here he is. Okay, he is very wonky. Now, I'll explain that within the review in a moment. But I think he looks cute and it gives him character because his head's on wonky. But he's mine, so he's not going anywhere. Now, I have got something to admit to you all. With this kit, I have realised I am a yarn snob. I can't quite work out how I've managed to become a yarn snob, considering I haven't had my hands on a lot of yarn yet from different companies. But yeah, I'm definitely a yarn snob. Right, so with this So Crafty Fiesta kit, I chose not to use their hook, but to use my own faithful hook, just in the size that they suggested. So with that in mind, I'm going to give you the review based off using this hook. There is a reason why I'm saying it like this. It's because I've realised I had a go with the hook that came on the kit as well, just doing a little sample once I'd finished him, and realised that they've stuck some sort of magic wizardry on it, because the difference in using that hook to this hook is immense. Right, so when I was using this hook, the yarn's splitting and catching, and I'm finding it hard. I found it really hard and really slow work to get through. Now, as you all know, I do a lot of amigurumi, so really I should have been able to speed through this pattern, because it is a very simply written pattern. It is very easy to follow, and it is pretty much the same as quite a few other patterns. Like, the main body is the same as a teddy bear, it's the same as quite a few other animals. There's no real difference within the way the pattern is made up. The head's a little different because you're attaching his muzzle onto the top of the pattern, rather than where you would normally turn the head and attach it and then put it on. Now, the instructions on this were pretty good. The drawback is, the reason I think it is a 2-star level, as you can see by the paperwork, you've got the 2 stars there. The reason I think it's that is because they give you the instructions on how to make the piece, but what they don't give you instructions on is how to put the thing together. There is nothing other than attach the head to the body. Now, the imagery on this, in this brochure, is literally that. That is all you've got to work on. So because I was working on the smallest picture on there, it wasn't very clear on how the head was put together. So when I first sewed it up and tried to put the muzzle on, I'd actually put it on the top, and I'd sewn the head how you would normally sew a head on. So it meant then that I had to unpick all the stitching, or should I say, I just cut it away in the end. I got so irate, I just cut the top row off, redid the row, or a couple of rows, just to make sure it was the same size, and then I sewed him on the right way round. But as the pattern goes, it tells you sort of, you make your body, and then you make this section of the head, and it tells you to sew the head onto the body. But as I said, it doesn't tell you which way to sew the head. Then you'd make the muzzle, and then it tells you sew that bit to the head. Well, luckily for me, I'd made all the parts first before I decided to start sewing it, because I'd read through the pattern and realised that it didn't say how or where to sew the items on. So it is full-blown guesswork for when you put it together, which is why it has the 2-star section, I think. Let me think, what else was there? Yeah, there was no description on how to put the cute little mouth on. That's all me. It just states sew on patches, make your eyes and make your nose. No description on how to build the face up. So it is a lot of guesswork. So if you've bought this kit and it is your first kit, have a watch on other YouTubers that have made amigurumi to see how they sew them on and how they sew together and their little tips and tricks, because that will help you out in building this one up so he looks cute at the end. And the reason I say have a watch on other YouTubers is because I haven't actually got one of them tips and tricks videos up yet. I will stick it in the mix of things I need to make for you. Okay, and a good thing with the kit was you didn't have to pay yarn chicken. As you can see here, there is a lot of yarn left on some of the colours, so if you do run out on others, which I don't think you're going to, or I don't think I'm going to anyway, I know I've got an emergency colour palette here because some of these colours are identical to some of the other items in the box. Right, so the whole pattern itself was really simple. The only bit that made me stop and think were actually the claws, and that's because we were working in a chain and you were building up off of the chain. Other than that, really easy. Sorry, I was trying not to swear. Just one question though, do sloths have ears and do they stick out? Because he hasn't got any. How's he going to hear me shouting at him? Right, so I'm going to head off now because I'm on to making the llama, and the llama is really confusing. And just to give you a heads up on this pattern, yeah, so they've decided to throw in a UK HDR, which is the US half double crochet, and you are building up the body using that stitch rather than your DC UK or the US stitch. But what I'll do is I'll show you that amigurumi once it's made up, and any future ones from this box. I'll show it on a later Whips, Bits and Chat volume, whatever number I get to. Right, so I'm going to head off now. So if you can, stay in and definitely stay safe, and I will see you all soon. Ta-ra for now.